Hello, Sean.
Good evening, everybody. Hello, Bussy. Welcome. You're still connecting. I see. Welcome. Right. After a hectic weekend away, I'm back in the seat here, except then my computer didn't want to do its thing. So luckily, I have got a technician on the other side. Thank you, brother. We work as a team. I like that. Gorgeous.
You're clever people.
Right. Last week, we went into a dream chart. And I think dream charts is very, very deep subject, very, very necessary subject. And as I said, this is part 2. And I asked you to bring your dream charts along with you. So we're going to discuss them and see what's important about it. And as I said last week, you dream it, you believe it, you pin it, and you live it. And Debbie gave us the 3 P's as well. Hopefully you'll always remember those ones. And that was picture it, pray about it, and prophesy over it. And right now, Linda V is going to talk to us a few minutes about the very, very important and the results of her dream chart. So I'm excited to see what she's done all the years and the results that she got. So we are here to learn from you, Linda. All over to you.
Thank you, Jeannie. I think I'm unmute. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I was a little bit in fear and trepidation whether I should share this or not, but anyways, I will. It's a true story. John likes true stories, so this is for John. So I'm going to have to read from notes. Otherwise, it's difficult to stick to the facts, and then it also helps me to be short and sweet. I've got a heading here, the power of a dream chart and my testimony. I didn't bring my dream chart. I still have it. I thought I cut it all up for some other reason for church. I had a session, but I actually found it more or less intact, my latest one, but it's a very big, I can't show it really on the screen. So when I got started and learned about the dream chart, I was really dream dead. Believe me, I was dream dead. After 3 goals through high school, university, which we paid cash for the whole bank shoot, 1 year apart, I only had wishes such as travel, living totally cash debt-free, because we would only have to pay off everything that we bought. So I didn't believe dreams can come true. I didn't even dream. I just had wishes, desires. So I scribbled a few things on a piece of paper on my desk at work. I was very teachable. I was told to make a dream chart. I didn't even know where to begin. So I scribbled a few pathetic things on. I can actually see the piece of paper still in my head. But then I learned that dreams can come true when we work towards it, because I also heard other people's testimonies. So I made a real dream chart with many, many pictures, such as all the places in the world that I always wanted that I could visit. Now, really, what I put on my dream chart were real things. They were real things that I really wanted, and I think that's very important. Especially places in Europe, Israel, Egypt, a brand new car, etc., etc. I always had to drive pre-used cars, but I wanted a brand new one, and it was also time for one. I had specific places in those countries that I wanted to go to, very specific. I had the pictures up. I was excited when I looked at the castles. Wow, I always had to think about castles. The fish that I would eat at the Sea of Galilee, the pyramids in Egypt, and many historical places in Europe. And then nice things like Keukenhof in Holland with the tulips, the Alps, all those wonderful things. I pinned my dream chart onto the wall in my office where I could see it every day. It really excited me, and I really started believing I could achieve those dreams if I do not quit. There was also a very huge aeroplane on it. I was so excited, it really motivated me to carry on, because I was still working in a job, attending work, evening meetings even. But anyways, and then I had dates on when to go by those places, deadlines. And of course, I often had to move those dates forward, especially the brand new car. That came the latest of all the things I'm going to mention. That's about 3 years ago. I had to save and save and save, and a special investment. I added on more dreams and pics as my life circumstances changed quite dramatically, such as to pay off another bond. It was only the difference between settlement from the first house and the second house. So it was not a huge bond, but it was a bond. And to visit my children far and wide over the world, and etc., etc. And then other needs, as they came up, I've added them onto the dream chart. As I say, things change and time goes on. So then what happened? Now the results. And here it's very important, please all of you listen carefully. I have to add, by God's grace and goodness only, that I achieved those, and I believe that with all my heart. And I honestly share this with a humble heart. From fear, I may sound like boasting. I actually left a few things out that it doesn't sound as if I'm boasting. So that is why I was afraid to share it. In no specific order, and much more than was on my original dream chart, as I said, I added on. I paid off the bond of the difference between those two transactions, and I paid it off fairly quickly. So then you save on interest, as you know. Renovating and upgrading my new home, there was lots to do. Fell in love with the place because of the size, and I could house all my children and grandchildren, all the family again, but there was a lot of work to do. And I could do that cash. Since I started the business and saved, I never did anything on credit again. So everything I mentioned was cash. I bought new furniture, as my furniture was already quite old after 40 years. And so over the years, I added on and I replaced, and of course, your electrical implements and so on. Yeah, nothing on credit, always cash. Okay, the car, as I mentioned, yeah, well, it came only 3 years ago, the new one. My only livelihood since 2008 was from the business. And I think that was a big thing while trying to save for all the other things I wanted. Thanks to the dream chart, it inspired me. And of course, I always had a savings account. I traveled to my 3 children. Their pictures of my family, as I said, was on my dream chart. I made 3 trips to the USA. My daughter was still living there. She's there again. The one trip was sponsored by Melinda, and included in that trip was also a cruise to the Bahamas, the Caribbean. So yes, that was the American trips, 3 of those. Then 2 tours, different tours to Europe. The Central Europe and Eastern Europe were 2 separate tours. And I saw and experienced outrageously amazing things, and the things that was, and of course, much more than I had the pictures of. One tour, the first one was a birthday present also from Melinda, my American daughter. An Israel and Egypt tour, amongst others, I had fish at the Sea of Galilee. That was also a picture, of course, on my dream chart. Sailed on the Nile River and saw the pyramids, which was one of the many pictures. Holland with the tulips, went to the Alps, the Keukenhof in Holland, and the Alps, etc. Went right up to the Alps on those cars that go up. And it wasn't even very cold, believe me. It was quite interesting. It was in spring, during spring. All snowed up, but not cold. I think it was of excitement. Holiday with my daughter in Morocco, and after that, another holiday to the UAE and up north to Ras Al Khaimah, where they actually lived. And that was absolutely amazing experiences, a wonderful cultural experience in Morocco, especially. Yeah, I had dinner in the desert and all those wonderful things, and even rode a camel, like my daughter said. I rode it like as if I was riding a horse. The Morocco one was a very, very strong dream and desire to go with my 2 other girls. That was absolutely, I prayed so much, even that the timing would be right and that they could go with me. And it happened. A tour and another one was a tour through the UK at the time of the 50-year jubilee of the company. So me and 2 downlines, we decided to go to the tour, and Anita Sutherland actually put the whole package together for us. She did a lot of work there. Then 2 trips to Zambia, where my oldest daughter lived, and I'm going to leave it there. There was many other wonderful things in between that I could do that I would never have been able to do on the salary or even 2 salaries that we had. So that was what happened. That was my dream chart. And then just in closing, what about the future? Okay, what's on my dream chart now? I'm honest, I don't have a dream chart at the moment. I wrote down what I want and what my vision is. And there are many personal things, but basically to say that I don't want to be a financial burden on my children when I'm old and maybe become frail. I hope I will just die before I'm frail. And my children always tell me from many years ago that I must never, never, never worry about my old age. And they keep on telling me that. They keep on telling me that. But, you know, with the independent nature and you don't want to be a burden, I still want to rather contribute than to be a burden and want to leave them a good inheritance. And the other big thing that I've written down, and that's always on my heart, and I'm trying to do, but I can do that more, is to help other people. There are so many people struggling and so many people that I know that struggle a lot. So these were written down. And then just in, so don't ask me to make another chart with pictures. I want to go to certain places, the travel store, but I don't think I will do that. I think I lose my confidence for traveling alone. And I don't want the vaccine. Was it not for having, in closing, and this is so important, this is so true, for having a clear dream chart and always adding onto it as the needs came up and seeing it every day to remind me, I am sure that not half of the above things that I've mentioned would have happened. You know, life goes up and down and you get your times in your life that you feel you're down and so on. But I looked at my dream chart and by God's grace and giving me the strength to do what I have to do, pushing forward, I could do that. And I'm blessed. I'm very grateful. And yeah, as I said, and once again, by God's goodness. So thank you for listening. That's from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Well done. That is awesome. That is awesome. So,
Jenny, I just want to ask Linda, can I just ask Linda a question? Linda, one of the castles you actually saw on your lifestyle mag, it was on the picture, wasn't it? And then you went to see it.
That fairy castle was also used in the Walt Disney pictures. I came from work one afternoon, and you know, as I said, I had to attend evening work meetings, and there were the evening presentations where a lot. I was dead tired. I was really tired. And on my dining room table was lying the Lifestyle magazine, and it had this castle, and it was also on my dream chart. I got so excited. I actually got energy because I had to go out again that night to a work meeting. I was so excited, and that's one of the wonderful things I visited. What an amazing place to visit. So amazing. Yeah, I saw many castles, but anyways, that's wonderful. I saw many places. It was absolutely wonderful. I feel so enriched. And it was, as I say, it was a blessing.
Well done. Well done. Okay, I'm throwing the floor open. Who has done this last week, or who has looked at your dream chart or improved your dream chart or made a new dream chart this week? Sean.
I have upgraded, well, I've got a couple of different dream charts scattered around, but I was actually working on I've titled it goals. In fact, not just dreams, but goals. If I share my screen, I can show you exactly what it is. Oops, let's do this. So there's one of my goal charts. And it's just a simple thing, stepping up to Sapphire. And they're expanding internationally. So basically developing a leg in the USA. And it almost looks like that might happen sooner rather than later. PPV is definitely improving. It's not quite there yet, but that's the goal, is to improve it up to that part over there. One of the things is to go on a leadership weekend. That's the Sapphire, I think it is, up in, or the World Team Leadership up in Joburg. And then also cruise, obviously not for next year, but for the following year. I won't be greedy, I'll let other people go next year. And then, first of all, getting Dina to get out of work, and then secondly, me following. And then also I'd like to go to Acres next year, but more in the leadership form rather than somebody who's wanting to learn how to develop, obviously learning to develop, but wanting to do some leadership there as well. So that's just some of the brief things on my chart.
Wonderful, well done.
I've got a couple of others scattered around in various places too.
And tell me, the dream chart that you had up last year, did anything materialize from that dream chart? I know you've got millions all over the place. I love going to your house because I climb up the shower and I stand waiting because I have to read everything first before I can get dressed.
I've got a couple of things that I've done. Yes, I'm looking at one of them over here, and there's one behind me. So there's been a couple of things I've been able to tick off there. There's a couple of things that I should have been able to tick off already, but because of me being not quite organized enough, I haven't. But they're still there, and we'll just, as Linda says, change the dates. And I will get them.
You will. Prophesy it.
Yes.
Picture it. If you've pictured it, pray about it, prophesy over it. You will.
And thinking back, looking where I am now, there's a lot of things that I have put up. I haven't even had a proper dream chart as such, but I've put them up, like weekly Zoom calls. That's now something that's there. It was something I wanted to do for a long time, and it's there. Getting my team to start to grow. It's starting to come right. So it's all these things that have been there for a while, but I haven't actively been working on it, but they've still been coming true. They've been coming right. And yes, the motivation things are on the bathroom door, and they need to get upgraded again as well.
Good. Auntie, you've got your mic open. Have you got something to share? You on mute?
Auntie's got a bit of a problem with her speaker.
Oh,
she's been trying to get it right for ages.
That's that.
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
Jenny,
Yes.
I'm quite bad with the picture thing and whatever through the years, but I've always made lists, and I take an A4 page and I write down in a big pen, like a Koki thing, I write down what I want. And I've been amazed through the years, just writing them down, and it's on my tiles in my bathroom, and I see it all the time. And through the years, I had it at one stage, I had it in the inside of my cupboard. So I had people coming in and whatever, and I thought, well, I'd rather put it there. And then I realized that, hang on, I opened it one day and I thought, oh, hang on, oh, this happened, I scratched. And I thought, oh, hang on, this happened, I scratched. Oh, hang on, and I started scratching a lot of things on the list that was there in the cupboard. So I thought, hey, hang on, I need to take the list out. And I redid the list, and I added a few more things. And now already on my new list that's in my bathroom now, I've got one thing that I scratched last week. And I thought, yes, yeah, great. And then I'm working on one thing now that I'm going to scratch soon. So even without pictures, just writing down what you want and seeing it every day, it's on your mind and you're working on it, it's happening. So shows you, power of the mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've got to picture something. We've got to have that vision. And it is obviously better in a picture form, but if we have that vision, and just the writing will remind us of that vision that we've got all the time. Sean?
I've got a list written up in a picture frame above my bed as well. Not pictures, but it's just, I had some old picture frames lying around. I put in a backing and I used a whiteboard marker, and I've written up a few things. A little bit of self-talk, as well as a couple of basic goals that I'm aiming to achieve still this year. And yes, it is working.
Good. Norma, you seem to be open.
Hang on a sec. You just unmute. I think I'm on mute still.
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
We can see her in front of her dream home.
Now you're on mute, Norma.
Unmute. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Norma.
I actually created myself a dream chart. I'm actually trying to find it on my computer because I've got it saved on my phone and I've got a copy up. I don't know if I show it you, will you be able to see it, do you think?
Try.
Let me try.
Give her permission to share, Sean. Right, she's just going to show you.
Video, stop the video.
Yeah, we can sort of saw what you held up there. You held something up, you could see it.
Hold it up again.
I'm trying to do this video thing for a long time.
You got it back?
There.
Yeah. We can sort of see that.
It keeps kind of disappearing.
Yeah,
anyway,
you got it background now.
I'm trying to find the thing on the computer. Then I've got other stuff that was open because I've been trying to do some photos that I have to edit. But I've got this on stuck up all over. I've got quite a few copies of this. And kind of what I did was look at the lifestyle, say I want to change my lifestyle. I've got up the picture of a car that I would really like to have. Also showing the different food that I need to eat to keep my weight where it should be. And so I need to have a healthy home. I need to have a healthy lifestyle. The success steps that I need to take, I need to actually do something now about what I'm doing. My aim is to at least get to Emerald Director so that I can go on the cruise. I've got a picture of the ship on the cruise for the cruise. And also I've got a picture of the little seeds. I need to plant a lot more seeds, so I've got a lot more growth in my business. That's kind of what I'm looking at. And then I've got places that I would like to visit again. I would love to go back to Vic Falls. Obviously would love to go to friends of mine in Sweden, but I'm not sure with all this COVID stuff whether that's ever going to happen. But certainly there's lots of places in this country that I would like to visit that I haven't visited or that I would like to go back to. I'd love to go back to Cape Town. And the big thing that I want to do right now is I need to sell my house. So I've got a picture of my house that I want to get to sell, and I want to move and where I want to move to. So I want to move to a smaller place. And yeah, I just need to do some steps. I need to take some steps. I have a picture of steps going up and the key to success, and I just need to take the steps. I need to do exercise. And the one thing that I have managed to do is I've joined the yoga class. So I am doing yoga now, which is, I thought it was going to be very simple exercises, but I've discovered that it's actually not very simple, very strenuous, but good exercise. So I'm enjoying that. Yeah, and I just need to change my mindset so that I can move on and grow the business.
Absolutely. And the more you see that chart, the more you're going to change that mindset.
Yeah.
And imagine the day that you can put your first tick on it. That would be wonderful.
Absolutely.
Who else? I want to go to Debbie and John last, but who else is going to be able to share something? Lucy, Barry, Mandy.
Jenny?
Yes.
Jenny? Sorry, I don't want to take the floor the whole time, and just to put a point out. My idea of sharing my point of just writing, I never took the time to put pictures. I agree with you guys. The picture obviously makes it better because you see the picture and you see the thing, definitely. I just get too lazy. I can't be bothered, so I'll just write them down. But my point is just to encourage somebody who, like me, let's say, doesn't have the time to cut out pictures or thinks it's too much of a big deal. Like I say, oh, I can't be bothered, and that even writing it down is works like a bomb anyway, because the things that I got were not little things. I had on my list, just to show you, a kitchen. I wanted to change my kitchen because when I moved, my kitchen was okay in my new house, but it wasn't what I wanted. It needed to be changed. I got a whole brand new kitchen 2 years ago, which I never expected. I got water damage and suddenly it had to be done. Wow, I changed the whole thing. It was absolutely stunning. I couldn't believe it could happen. And then I got a new veranda at the front. I wanted to extend my veranda. It got done. And then I just got garden furniture, big stuff. It wasn't small things that, little things that could happen. So it's just to encourage somebody who even doesn't do pictures. The picture is definitely the way to go. It's better because you get twice as much. You see the words and you see the picture. But don't get discouraged if you can't do the picture thing and you haven't got time and whatever. That was my point. Write it down anyway. Even seeing the words work. It's better if you see the picture, especially like to tell people. So if you want a car and you want it in blue, make sure you put it in blue instead of red, because you're going to get the blue one that you want instead of the wrong color. All those work. But so people know that even writing, don't give it up if you can't do the picture, because words work as well, big stuff or not. Just my little 2 cents.
Thank you, Dom. Busi, you wanted to share. Thank you. Busi?
I think Lucy said that she would be next
another day. Okay, yes. Another day. Debbie, yeah. We've got 9 minutes. Maybe you and John can fill in the last 9 minutes.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thanks, Linda and Norma, for sharing, and Tom and Sean, well done. It's always exciting to know that you played a little part in showing a person the business, and they can start ticking off the dream chart thanks to the Neolife. And when we started off, I didn't believe that this thing could work, a dream chart. And our very first dream of mine, Debbie's got others there, was a fax machine. Back in those days, we had to send our orders through to GNLD, and then they could process it, but we had to use a fax machine. And it was such a schlep going to highway business machines or to a printing company and getting our orders faxed through. And I wanted a fax machine, but it is way over our price range. And one day I went into an office, I put it on my dream chart, fax machine, and this guy was clearing out the office, and there was this dusty thing in a case on top of the aircon. And I said, well, what's this? He said, oh, it's a heap of junk. It's actually a fax machine, but it's never worked. I'm chucking it out. So I said, well, can I have it? Can I pay you something for it? He said, no, chuck it away. And I took it through to business, highway business machines. They removed a paper clip that had fallen into the back. So for 36 Rand, I got a brand new fax machine, never been used before. So it doesn't have to come the way you want it to come. You know, we didn't go out and buy something that cost 1,000 Rand there. Although this thing was worth quite close, it was quite a Lani one. And it can come from other sources. But Debbie's got quite a good one, which it's actually mouth stopping when you know that it can't be an accident. Okay, Debbie.
Hi everybody. Yeah, that dream chart is actually quite incredible. And I must admit, the same as Dom, initially, I thought, you know, really, how childish, putting up your pictures. That sounds ridiculous. And you know, you just take pictures just because someone told you to take pictures. So you just take any pictures and you stick it on a piece of paper. But I found once you actually get serious and you start to think about what you actually want, and that is what takes the time, is to sit down and think and concentrate what you actually want, and then to focus on that. Like Sean's got pictures all over the place. That means your mind, Sean, is all over the place. Your laser is moving all over the place. If you can take it and fix it on one thing at a time, it would be far beneficial. And it comes to mind where we had our one car which was stolen. So one of the people at the church actually lent us a car. And while we were borrowing this car, we put up I sort of put out a fleece. And I wanted a Toyota Corolla, 1600, and it was a blue one, and I put the picture on my dream chart with a lot of other things, but that was my focus. We needed that because we had borrowed this car, and it wasn't forever and ever and ever borrowed car. It was just for while we got our own car. And we were driving around. We weren't even looking for a car. We went to visit somebody or something, and on the way back, outside Toyota, there was the car. The exact same car, same color, same everything. I pulled up behind it. I said, John, there's our car. So he says, but there's a person in it. It's not for sale. So I said, well, let's ask him. So we went in, and typical me, I said, are you bringing your car in for sale? So he said, yes. So I said, well, can we do a deal before you do your deal? So he says, yeah, of course. He told us what his price was. It was within our price range. And there I had our Toyota. And that was something that really made me think about dream charts. And if you've got a picture of what you want, and it was amazing because I saw it immediately. That was my car. There was no doubt in my mind at all. So that was something that I will always remember about a dream chart. Yeah, you can put down your list. That's fine. But I think sometimes our dream chart or our list is actually a wish. It's not actually a desire or a dream. And I even think about Warren Brosnian's testimony, if you can remember. He wanted to play for South Africa rugby. That's what he wanted to do. And he had picture of rugby all over. He had pictures of rugby. And that's what he achieved. He wanted to play for South Africa, and he did, because he had that picture and he focused on that. And that is what your pictures are all about. You picture, then you prophesy. First you picture. What's the next one, Jen?
Pray.
Pray. That's right. Your pictures and your thoughts must be in line with God's plan. Otherwise, it's not going to satisfy you. And then, of course, you prosper. Thank you.
I think, Sean, you've got the same dream all over the house. You haven't got pictures all over the house of different things. And I think what Debbie was saying is that you're focusing on your dream, but that dream is all over the house, not that you are diverted. Okay. And that's the way I got it, because I've been to your house and I've seen your pictures are the same, but all over the house. Am I right?
That's correct, yes. And in fact, one of them with my watch, the watch face says Sapphire Director. And that is one of my main goals. So every time I look at my watch, I see Sapphire Director. So that's one of my main focuses at the moment.
Wonderful.
I've got a Sapphire Director pin in my cupboard. I'm saving it. I'm going to pin this on you, Sean, whether you like it or not. And then you can put your new one on later.
Yes.
Good.
And one for Jenny.
Can I share my screen?
Yes.
Yes,
Try.
we've got
You've got 1 minute.
Go.
We're not seeing?
There we go.
There we go. Got it?
Wonderful. Awesome. Wow.
Can you see it?
Yes.
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 Okay. There's my lifestyle. Love myself. And there's my fresh fruit and vegetables, my healthy home products, my healthy lifestyle products, my house that I want to sell, success steps. Just take the first step. There's my exercise. My life is the creation of my mind. As I reap, so will I. As I sow, so will I reap. There's my big goals, my steps up, and the bottom is my emerald director, and there's my dream destinations.
Well done.
Awesome.
Excellent.
That is awesome. That's what it's all about.
Well
So
done.
Norman's done more picture than writing. Sean's done more writing than picture. Dominic's done writing. So you've got to put your vision up and you've got to focus on where you want to go. What are we going to do first? And that is how we're going to do it. I will just see the title for next week and I'll let you know. And then we will continue with this, dreaming our dreams and moving up the chart.
I will let you know that I am now looking at the picture of something that I want and I'm about to print it. So you've got